So a year in review, we started talking about the airport and the mismanagement of how they treat people and how they spend money and just think they're above reproach. And I commend you guys for coming down here, standing up for your community. That's what it's all about, holding people accountable and standing up for what we believe in. So as we look back, when I first started coming down in March and April, talking about our general manager and Ferrell and this situation that's going on at the airport, we've noticed that before we started speaking on this, for almost 2 years, Ms. Ferrell was at every meeting, Mr. Alex One. And once we started talking about it, she'd only come to one meeting. And it have come to my attention, and we're trying to still verify that she's been asked to relieve all her duties back to Mr. Bheodori, which she should not have never had in the first place, Ms. Overstreet, because she's not the senior deputy general manager. Mr. Michael Smith is, but for some reason, Mr. Michael Smith don't have the responsibilities that someone who just got hired in that position, and once again, we go back, who was not qualified to be in that position. And so I just hope in the new year that we don't embarrass our administration. If we believe our mayor is working hard and trying to turn this city around, and the airport is still giving the city a black eye, which it has been giving it for some time now, because for some reason, we can't seem to get the right leadership out there. They tend to be self-serving and not qualified to be in a position and relinquish the duties to those who are also not qualified and that's making bad decisions at the airport. Also in the new year, I hope that we have the courage to ask the airport when they're gonna pay their $2 million water bill to the city. We have to pay our water bill, but the general manager and the airport don't have to pay their outstanding $2-3 million balance at the airport. So I just hope that we have the courage to just ask them, because once again, Ms. Waits, a whole year have gone by, nobody have asked the airport, and Mr. Warren is over finance, and I don't think he've ever asked his friends when they plan on paying the city. I mean, they got billions of dollars they got from COVID, but they still decide to just not pay their bill. They just do what they want to do out there, and we can't have that. You know what I'm saying? Because our former mayor in the 50th year that we're in Maynard Jackson, I'm sure he's somewhere rolling over in his grave by the behavior of the airport all these years and the current airport administration. Once again, who was told a no on the Mayor Reed and on the Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. Ferrell and Bheodori was turned down for their position. Mr. Watman's more, they was told a no. But for some reason, they were appointed to these positions and they should have not been. And we gotta look at this very seriously, because the airport is our heartbeat of the city. So there's no reason these last year or so that airport security has failed us. All the problems we're having at the airport have failed us because, once again, Ms. Ferrell have been in charge of all of this, and they have fired a lot of people that should not have been fired. And in result of that, we see the airport has declined tremendously, but we still saying we winning awards at the best airport. But our airport we all fly. It's terrible. And we're not even talking about the long lines. We're talking about the operation part of it. It's terrible, but nobody wants to hold these people accountable. Y'all let them get up here and show these fancy reports and tell lies, and we don't hold them accountable. I mean, we've caught our law department, the head, Nina Hickson, we've caught them in lies, and when they get scrambled, they want to go into executive session. They want to talk about it instead of letting the public hear. I mean, we gotta stop that. I hope in the new year moving forward that we stop letting them off the hook. When they're caught with their hands down, they want to go into executive session. And then we have a reporter back here, Ms. Kelly Yamaguchi, who writes for AJC, always telling one-side stories from the airport. Never get both sides of the story. The airport, they get to feed her whatever she wants, and she writes it, and then the citizens of Atlanta get to read the AJC, and they think that, oh, this is the real story. No, the airport feeds them the story, and she go out and write it, but she's supposed to be a professional journalism who come from Harvard. I know Harvard didn't teach her that. So she is also self-serving, also have ambition to go higher, you know what I'm saying, without doing proper journalism. So we just have to hold these people accountable and just understand that Atlanta, we are too good for that. We got to put all those misquote up. No, I'm saying city too busy to hate. There's a lot of hating going on in Atlanta, and we know that there's a lot of cliquism going on in Atlanta, mismanagement, and we just have to stop that because the people deserve more. These fine young people didn't want to come down here today to speak on this, but when they see something wrong, they come down, and I'm glad that y'all did come down here because more people need to start coming down and seeing what's going on. These are the people that you guys are voting for. They come begging for your vote, but then when it's time to do service, they do not do what you expect them to do. And we have to hold them accountable because this is serious. None of us want to come down here and do this. I do not enjoy coming down here speaking about black people not doing their job. But they have a duty to uphold, and they take it for granted. We have come so far, we have bled so much, so many people have died in this city to allow people like that to come in this city and not take the job serious, and we suffer for it. Because guess what? When they mismanage funds and when corruption going on, that's when they raise our taxes to try to make amends for that. So that's why it's so serious. They don't care because they're making $200,000 salaries a year. They don't care about that. Some are making six figures, so they don't care about if our taxes go up. They get to write their salaries in. The general manager and the deputy general manager, Ferrell, they make their own salaries. They don't have to get approval for anyone. So they don't care if our taxes go up. They don't care if our singers are about to lose their home. They don't care about that. But we have to care enough. And we have to hold people accountable. And I'm so glad that we have a good outlook in the new year. And I know with the IG report coming out, and with some of the findings that they have let the mayor know what they have discovered, it has been a shame. And this board had privilege on knowledge to it. And once again, you know, all of this happened because we asked someone to pay back a $1,300 fine, Mr. Westmoreland, that they really didn't take no part in. And then come to find out, our deputy general manager, Ferrell, had a Christmas party the other day that the city paid for, Mr. Amos. So I be so confused. You want these girls to pay back $1,300 for some candles that they didn't even authorize. You know, the general manager had his own scent on the counter. It was his idea. But our deputy general manager at question had a Christmas party on Howard Mill that was paid for by the city of Atlanta. You guys probably didn't approve it, but the city of Atlanta office did. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, it's the office where her mother worked. Maybe so, maybe not. But I'm just saying, we have to really take control of these things. Mr. Warnes, you're over finance. We got to start asking these tough questions, man, because if we don't, we're just as complicit. And so I just leave you guys with this, man. Like, we take these things serious in the city of Atlanta because we are born and raised here, and we know the true tales of it. It is a tale of two cities, and the ugly side of it, we can get rid of that. We do not have to live in that, and we do not have to accept that. And so I just hope in the new year moving forward in transportation, we ask these hard, tough questions, and I hope each and every one of you on the board and everyone in here have a safe and happy holidays. And thank you again, Mr. Ferrell.